I had one thing in my mind that I don't want to do something without understanding.
Right.
I wanted to understand it. But I probably found about the finances, about the importance of knowing this whole aspect of investments, savings, and budgeting, things like that, that our kids should know more after I learned,
after reading,
at a later age in my life. But as they say, you're never late, better late than never. I think at least that has helped me. And I see it very strongly now that the younger people must realize, understand the importance of this. We don't have that in the system. I go to many schools. At least I went to the school that my two sons graduated from. I met the headmaster and I told them that I'm willing to come and do a voluntary class to your seniors, maybe once a month, at least to let them understand before they go to college, that what is it about finances, what is it that they should at least keep in mind, what are the things they can do and what are the things they should not do. Because today's problem is because we spend money more than we can afford to. And that has never been regulated. Government is intervening now when it is too late. I think government should intervene and try to see all these credit cards that people have. I have clients who are paying way too much interest because they are unable to pay and their rating is going low and their interest rates are going high. But they have no choice. They are not there. It's like a trap. You can't get out of it. But if you don't get into it and live with what you have, and that's what we had in our country. We always bought if we had cash. I'm not saying, then of course the life you don't enjoy until you retire and have money, that's one negative side of it. Here at least you can enjoy life while you are still in your youth and as an age to enjoy it. So from that point of view, it's good to get some loan and get things that you want to get. But there is a limit of what you should. You are the one.
It should be an understood decision. Like
absolutely. You have to be mature enough. Not because there is an ad that, okay, you can come and grab this plasma TV and put it on your wall. You don't have to pay for a whole year. Then you see another ad that you can come and get this car with 0% interest and you just change the car just because it is at a 0% interest. I think those kind of things, there has to be some kind of regulation. People have so many credit cards. I do this for my living now. When people come in for financial planning, they have credit cards for each store. Probably not really required, but they give it to you. I mean, even in the market like today, people are still getting,
new credit cards.
New credit cards. Just as soon as they graduate, they bombard it with the credit card companies that, okay, here's the card, you have $5,000 limit. And so easy to fill it up. And now they are going beyond their ability to pay it back. So I say to all the younger people that whatever you are making, think you are making 20% less than that.
Right.
If you make $100,000 a year, think I'm making $80,000.
Put that 20 aside.
Budget your things with $80,000 a year and do your lifestyle that way. What if you are getting $120,000? You will still do, you'll probably increase your lifestyle and living and spend the money in a logical, diversified way. Do a good asset allocation. I mean, if you can do it yourself, that's fine. Otherwise, I do recommend you go to a professional that you trust. That's the main thing.
Right.
You got to go to somebody that you trust. Because there are so many out there who are not looking for your interest, but looking for your own interest. And you got to judge that. It's very, very important that you find someone trustworthy. A lot of people, and this is my advice to many others also, those who do investment their own. They probably have money at different places, some in Fidelity, some in their 401k, some in their Vanguard, some different places, Merrill Lynch. So they probably have money all over. That really, my advice to all of them, to think it over. It is not really a good thing to do. What is important here is not to diversify your advisors. What is important here is to diversify your wealth in the right way. And if you put everything on the table for someone to look at it who you can trust, that person can do the right allocation for you, knowing your situation, knowing your objective, knowing your horizon of time horizon, whatever is required. So he can put the money in the right way. Because advisors do not talk to each other. I may be managing somebody's $100,000 or $500,000. Someone else is managing maybe $200,000, but we are not talking. I may be very heavy in the international side. He may also be very heavy in the international side. And overall, the portfolio is heavy
or
in
international side.
So it's not the right allocation. So I suggest to everybody that don't diversify your advisor. What is important is to diversify your money in the proper way. And that can only be done when two eyes look at it. When one person looks at it and looks at your objective and looks how I can really invest this money so that he or she can reach his objective.
Yeah.
And that's the important key here. But we don't do that. We think, well, we don't want to give it to one person. We give it, and it is because they don't trust.
They don't trust.
But if you can find somebody trustworthy, that would be the right thing to do. And that's what I advise to all these younger people who are joining my Young Millionaires Club. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm thinking to really make T-shirts for them, the hat for them, take them to the picnic, and kind of make it more funful, so that they can get more motivated towards savings, towards understanding the concept of investment and the nuts and bolts about it.
That's good. So also we talked about the politics and how the today's market is, and probably the new president-elect will help fix those situations. How is your role in the India-America Forum for Political Education helps community?
Well, Indian American Forum for Political Education is an excellent organization. I would say it is not known to the extent it should have been to people in our community. And the mission of this organization is really to provide education to our community people about the system of American politics, about the process of government offices, so that we can learn and understand how the politics runs here, how the government offices run here, and get motivated to be a part of it, to become a part and parcel of the mainstream. And that's the objective of this particular organization. Now, we have a little bit of a political situation, but there are a lot of other organizations such as, IAGB, India Society, Sindhi Society, Telugu Society. They're all cultural organizations. I was in the India Society of Worcester. I have had the fortune of being the president of that organization, but we were cultural. We wanted to promote India, Indian culture, Indian religion, Indian different kind of thing that helps our kids to grow up with it, so we're not missing anything. Yeah. We're more from the cultural point of view. But this is the political part of it. So I look at it as an arm to all this cultural organization. When it comes to doing something that we need a political influence, this is where the Indian American Forum for Political Education stands for. We not only want to educate our community, but we also want to bring in politicians to our community to speak to us, to tell us what we can do to get involved. What are the potential that they see that we can be a part of? It is, it's enormous amount of talent that we have in our community. We have, everybody's educated. The problem that I see is our community is content with what we do. We don't like to go so much beyond the thing that we are doing. I mean, for various reasons. We are very much family oriented. We spend time with our children, we spend time with our family, and we don't find enough time really to go out and do something which is extra. But I suggest to everyone that we live here. Let's take it as our home. Let's take the ownership. My dad was the biggest motivator in my life. And he always used to give me this advice when I was growing up. Because I lost my mother, as I told you, so he was my mother and father. And he used to tell me that when you grow up, try to take the ownership wherever you work. If you're working for a company, think it's my company. And he used to give me this example, which I still remember. He used to say, if you are working in a restaurant as a waiter, and if there is a couple who came to dine in that restaurant, and after they finish the dinner, they leave, you are wiping that table, think it is your table. Don't think that table belongs to the owner of the restaurant. Think it is your table and clean up the best way you can. Someday, it will give you the dividend. Someday, you will benefit from it. So today, if I'm working for the community, working on somebody's tax return or investment or financial planning, I always think if it was my situation, how would I solve it? And things are easier from there because you are putting the best you can. Yeah, yourself in there. And if you can do the best you can do, that's the best you can do. And that's what I suggest everyone,